Okay, I've run into a little bit of a problem with my framing. It appears that when the original builder built the house, that my center supporting wall isn't exactly square. I've got two problems with it. First off, it doesn't run parallel to the outside wall, so the room slightly converges by about an inch at the far end. And the other problem I have is that the wall is actually leaning. It's about an inch and a quarter out at the upper part there. Now, word of advice when you're doing any kind of renovation project, always make your work square. You are always going to run into problems that somebody else has done, and really, like in my case, unless I rip the house down, I'm not going to be able to fix this one. The wall is out and that's the end of the matter. In cases like this, you just have to make do with the situation and work around it as best you can. The easiest thing to do is, in this case, is for me to make my wall square and just make it a little short. It's 126 inches at the bottom and 127 and a half at the top. So it's like about an inch and a half, inch and a quarter out roughly. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to build my wall 126 inches and make it square. Lift my wall into place, and then I'm just going to have to fudge that corner a bit when I do the finishing. I'm going to have to overcut my finishing material so that it goes into the corner. That's probably the easiest solution to a situation like this, because if you try to adjust your framing for it, and you really just end up getting into a whole lot of problems that can be very difficult to resolve. In my particular instance, this is really not going to be a big deal. I'm planning on a big built-in bookshelf right here, and nobody's going to notice if there's an extra inch behind my books. And if they do, they're just too nosy. Okay, we've assembled our frame, and we have it standing in front of our wall here. And the next thing we need to do is make sure that our wall is absolutely dead plumb up and down. So what we're going to do is we're just simply going to take the 6 foot level, and we're going to put it on stud, and we're going to make sure that the bubble is right in the middle between the lines at the top and the bottom, and it is. And we're just going to go through all of the different points along the wall and make sure that the wall is in fact completely level everywhere. Now, one of the things that we have at our disposal here, I'll just grab the camera. Now, there are several things at our disposal here. We can shim the wall out in different ways. I've got a block back in that corner, and if we look over here along the foot here, I've got a piece of 1/2 inch plywood shimming it out from the wall. This just ensures that the wall stays completely in place until it's nailed. And up top here I've got, again, I'll zoom in here, we've got, that's another shim. And over here again we've got a wedge shim in there, and all those shims are basically ensuring that the wall stays completely level while we are setting it up and putting it in place, and then once we nail it in place, then it's good to go. Okay, here's what that corner looks like now that we have it all completely framed in. As you can see, we've Got our framing running completely straight and square, and our little gap there kind of gets smaller as we get to the floor. Basically, all we're going to do to solve this problem is we're just simply going to overhang our material into the corner, and we'll just fasten to the stud like normal. And that pretty much is how you solve that issue. Now, I wanted to point out another couple of things which I've done with the framing, and that is right over here. You'll notice that I've got a block in the framing here just around the window, and over here, there's light here. Maybe just turn the light up a bit so you can see it. We've got some big blocks into the framing of the wall here. Basically what this is for is we're planning on hanging some heavy things on the wall. The one spot's going to be a CD rack. The other spot is going to be an arm for a monitor to hang down over my workstation. So you just kind of plan for stuff like this and put some heavy framing in so you've got proper support when you come time to actually install those items.